Okay, we're on week 5 of the Autocad class. We're going to work on some more commands today, and so we're going to draw a conference room, and the drawing is right here. And so you will need to download onto your desktop the conference room chair, the conference phone, and the plant. And you know these are drawings by, it says .dwg. DWG is the source file for drawings, you know, much like when you see a DOC, you know it's a Word document. Okay, so let's start by File, New. Let's open a new drawing. Make sure it says Autocad, Open. We're going to turn off this grid. Go up to Format, Units, change that to Architectural, and then Format, Drawing Limits. The first set of numbers are always 0, so hit Enter. And looking at our floor plan, it's 25 foot by 17 foot. We want to have some space around so we can see. So we're going to do 30 foot, 30 foot. And then zoom all. Okay, we need to load our layers, so type in script, locate your script file, escape, and then we're going to change our current layer to a wall exterior. So looking at the floor plan, we're going to start with the top of the conference room. So click on Line, click on the screen, and make sure our ortho or F8 is on. Our first set of numbers is 25 foot, enter. Okay, going down the right side, the next set of numbers is 3 foot 6, enter. And you know we have a doorway, so what I'm going to do is input 3 foot, enter for the doorway. Then 6 foot 6, another 3 foot doorway, and then 1 foot, enter. We want 25 foot for the bottom wall, and then we will click on the end, and you'll see that the cursor says 17 foot there when I click on the end and then enter. Now we can erase, so we'll go over here and we'll find this 3 foot line, we'll erase that, and the other 3 foot line. So see how they're highlighted? I have the correct lines I want to erase, so I'll hit enter. Okay, the thickness of the walls is 6 inches. So we'll do offset, 6, enter. We'll click on the lines, go into the box, click in, click in, click in, click in, click in. Okay, in our doorways, the lines are not closed. So we're going to go line, click on this end point, click enter. Line, endpoint, enter. Now I can copy, so copy, enter, and then this is where you have to do planning. If I click in the middle, then I have nothing to go down here and click on. So I want to click on the end and then go to the same end place. If I went to this end place, the line would be outside of the doorway. So click here, enter. Right, we're going to use fillet to trim. Fillet, 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 these two corners, fillet, these two corners. Okay. We have a conference room. Now, if you're curious, let's move. Our floor plan is below the UCS icon here. So let's do move, select all of the items, enter, click on the corner and drag our cursor up and click. Then do Z, enter, A, enter. Okay. So refresher on the move, refresher on the offset and the fillet. Now, the thing I said, I've been trying to stress about AutoCAD is the accuracy of your drawings. Now we can measure to make sure that it's accurate. So if I go up here to measure, and I click on this corner and this corner, it tells me that that's a 3-foot opening. Escape. I can also type in list, and I can click on this little line here and enter, and list will give me a lot of information about this particular piece of geometry. It tells me that it's on the AWOL exterior layer. It tells me that the length of it is 6 inches, and that would be in the x-axis. So see, x right here, x right here, x-axis. If it was in the y, it would be going vertically. So it tells me a lot of information. So to get out of this, you just hit the X or escape. It gets me out of the list command, but measure like that. It can also tell me the area. I can also find out what the area, so if somebody says, well, how many square feet is that conference room? You can go up here to measure, and there's the little down button, and you can click on area, and if you click on the 4 corners of this room and hit enter, see, it tells you that this particular conference room is 384 square feet as a perimeter of 80 feet. So if I wanted to order baseboard for this room, I could order 80 foot of baseboard. So again, AutoCAD can really make your life a lot easier in the design world. I can tell my carpet guy that I need 384 square feet of carpet for this room. All right, so I'm just going to hit escape to get out of that command. If I have a circle, so I'm going to draw a circle here, I can do distance and click on each side of the circle, so I get the quadrant. It gives me the diamond, so I click here, it tells me this is a 6 foot 2.5 inch diameter circle. I can also do list, and it will give me the radius. It will give me the circumference of the circle, so that's a 19 foot 6 inch circumference. It will give me the area. So if you are bad at math like I am, you don't have to remember the formula for the circumference of a circle or the formula for the area of a circle, which just drives my sister-in-law crazy, but that's all different. conversation. Alright, so I'm going to erase that. Okay, so we need to put furniture in our conference room. And doors. So we're going to start with doors. We're going to change our current layer to a door. We're going to start with line. Click here on the corner. Go to the left, and the door is always drawn the same width as the door opening. So 3 feet. It's a commercial door, so 1.75 thick. Do 3 feet again, and then click up here to close it, enter, and now we can join it. So J, enter, and click on all 4 lines. So now it's become a rectangle, and then I can do, we have to make the arc, so I'm going to go up here to arc, find the center, start in. So here's the center of the circle. I'm going to start here. Whoops, wrong. Okay, go click here for the center. I'm going to start here at the edge of the door and go down. So center, start, end. Okay, I have another door here, so I could go through the same process of drawing the door, joining it, making the arc. I can make a copy, but if I made a copy, so I'll move copy, make sure I click on all of the pieces and move it down here. If you look at the floor plan, it's a different direction. So, no matter how many times I copy it, I'm not going to copy the direction for it to be the direction that I need. So I'm going to erase that. If I mirror it, I get a copy going in the other direction. So I can do mirror. So it's much like, if you stand with and look at a mirror, how it reflects things. So mirror is under the Modify tab, second row, second button. So I'm going to click mirror. And the first thing it says in the command line, so you always want to read your command line. It tells you what to do. Mirror. Select the objects you want to mirror. I want to mirror the door and the swing. Hit enter. Now it says to specify the first point of the mirror line. So I want it to go in this doorway. If I use this line, this wall here, I use the midpoint that's halfway. So click here. If I drag my cursor to the left, see, I'm getting a copy, an opposite copy of that door. So now it says specify second point of line. I'm just going to click here anywhere. Then it asks you if you want to erase the original object. Now I need that door up at the top, so I'm going to say no. And now I have a copy of the door going in the opposite direction. Very cool. Okay. So here is my door. Here are my doors. And I've learned the command called mirror. We also went back over join and arc, center, start in. All right. Okay, now our conference table. We're going to change our current layer to a wall furniture, firm. Our conference table is 4 foot by 12 foot. So I'm going to go up to line, click, do 4 foot, go to the right 12 foot, down 4 foot, and then C to close. Here's my conference table, and let's join it. So J, enter, and click all the lines, enter. So now it becomes a joined object. Okay, so you'll notice that on the floor plan, so looking at the floor plan, that it's 6 foot from this wall and 6 foot from this wall. How do we do that? We can use construction lines. So we're going to use offset, and then we're going to put in 6 foot, and we'll use this line because it's 6 foot from this line, and it's 6 foot from this line. And then all we have to do is use move, select our table, enter. Now, where do we attach our cursor to? Well, I need this corner to be right here. So I'm going to attach my cursor to this corner, and then I'm going to go up here where these two lines intersect. See, I get a green X, click, and now I have my table in the exact spot I need it. So now I can erase my construction lines. Okay, in the back of the conference room, there's a credenza. Credenza is a piece of furniture that you can set papers on, bottled water, that kind of thing. So our credenza, so we're going to click line. Our credenza is 2 foot by 8 foot, so we're going to click on the screen, go up 8 foot, 2 foot, down 8 foot, and then C to close it. We're going to join it so it's all one object. Okay, the credenza is 4 foot from this corner. So we'll offset O, or the offset button, 4 foot. We're going to click this line and go up. So now we need to move our credenza to this area. So we'll click move, select the credenza, enter, and I'm going to select this corner because I know this corner needs to go right here. So click this corner and then this corner. And I'm going to erase my construction lines. Alright, so you'll see that our floor plan has plants and chairs and this really fun looking, funky looking conference call accessory. So we're going to start with the chairs. To get the chairs that we saved from Blackboard into our drawing, we're going to go up here to the Insert button. So see File, Edit, View, Insert. We're going to click on Block. We're going to click Browse. And where we have saved those drawings, it's my conference room chair. If I click on that, I can see a preview. Yep, that's a chair. So I'm going to hit Open. And then right here is the Insert dialog box. I'm not going to change anything, so I'm going to hit OK. And then I will place my drawing. So I want to make sure that the layer is set where I want this piece to live. I want this piece to live on the A furniture layer, so that is correct. I'm going to click right here, and then I could I could hit enter and do the same thing over again, or I can make a copy. So I need 5 chairs. I'm just going to kind of eye it. And I'll move it a little bit like that. That looks really good. So I need chairs on this side of the table. If I make a copy, the seat's going to be facing the wall. That would be kind of silly. So the conference table would not facing the people that you're sitting across from. So we're going to use a mirror. So I'm going to click mirror. It asks me to select the objects. So I want all 5 of these. Enter. It says to select the first point of the mirror line. If I click here and drag my cursor, then I get a copy down here. So I'm going to click there, and then the midpoint here. I do not want to get rid of the original, so get no. And I have a copy of all my chairs. Okay. I'm going to insert block, browse. I want the conference phone, open. Okay. It says invalid. When it says invalid like that, you want to go back to insert, block, browse, click the phone, open, right here, click explode, okay, and then I click the center of the table, and there is my funky little conference call thing, block, okay. Alright, so if it says invalid, you can explode it. Alright, so I'm going to put a plant in. I need to change my current layer to a fern plant because I want the plant to be green, not yellow. I'm going to go up to Insert, Block. I'm going to uncheck that Explode. Go to Browse, Plant. There's a little preview of my plant. Open. Okay. It says invalid. So I'm going to go back up to Insert, Block, Browse, Plant, Open, Explode. Okay. And I will click right here. That looks good. And then I will make a copy. So copy, select, enter. I'm just going to pick the piece space and I'm going to click right there and enter. So I have a conference room with furniture, plants, and my conference technical thing. So let's use pan, P, move that out of the way for a minute. Okay, we've learned so far today, we refreshed ourselves on offset and fillet and trim. We've learned how to insert blocks, so you can get on the internet. There's all kinds of AutoCAD drawings on the internet, and you can download and insert drawings so that you don't have to draw them yourself. And we learned today how to do mirror There's a few other commands I would like to go over. We also learned distance and area and list. Let's talk about chamfer or fillet and chamfer and array and rotate. So let's make a copy of this chair here. And if I needed this chair to go the opposite direction, instead of doing mirror, if I've got one single chair, I can rotate it. So you made a copy. Here's the rotate button, is the second button on the modify panel. Rotate. I'm going to select the object, enter. I need to pick a base point, it tells me. So I click the middle of this, click, and then it tells me specify the rotation angle. Well, I can move my cursor around in a square and rotate this chair. Or I can type in 90 and it sends it that direction. If I click on it, rotate, enter, give it a base point, and type in 45, it sets it at an angle. Okay, that's rotate. Or, you see, I have my ortho on. If you didn't have your ortho on, you can rotate it like this. Well, that works sometimes with, if you need it to be perfectly straight, you'd want to have your ortho on like that. Okay, so we'll erase this. Now, if my conference table, so I'm going to make another copy of my chair. If my conference table happened to be round, so let's go up here to circle, diameter, click on the screen, and let's do 48. And that makes a nice conference table, small conference table. And I'm going to move my chair kind of like that. Okay, so I could do mirror, and I could mirror using the half point of the circle and have one here. But if I wanted 4 chairs, I could make a copy and rotate each chair and place it. But it would be easier to use the array command. So if you'll type in array, A-R-R-A-Y-C for classic, array classic is a lot easier to use than the current array that Autocad kind of screwed that up when they made some changes to their array. Alright, so it comes up with the array dialog box. It's set to rectangular. Rectangular would send it out into straight lines of columns and rows. We want polar, I guess, assuming that polar means like the polar cap of the earth, but we'll use polar. Then we want to select the object, the chair, is what we want to make copies of. Enter. So I've selected the chair. Then it asks me for the center point. I want the center point of this circle. So I'm going to click this button, and I'm going to get close to my circle. When I get that center or that green circle, I'm going to click. Brings back the dialog box. The number of items. I can have 4. I could have 5. I can have 6. I could have 12. So let's say I want 5. Then I'm going to do a preview. There's my table with 5 chairs. It shows me a preview, and then I can right click with my mouse, hit OK, and now I have a copy of that chair rotated correctly at an equal distance around that circle. That is a very cool command. So it's Array Classic. I'll move this up out of the way. Alright, finally, we're going to go over fillet and chamfer. So if we have a box, let's draw, make sure our ortho's on. Let's do 4 foot this way, 4 foot, 4 foot, and C to close. And let's make a copy. And we'll join, but no, we won't. Okay, we want them to be individual pieces. All right, so if you want rounded corners on a table, we'll go up here to fillet, or fillet, not fillet, fillet, and this is where the radius, so it says, right now it says that the mode is in, the fillet mode is trim, and the radius is set at 0. So we're going to put R, enter, and let's put 6, enter, 6-inch radiuses. So we're going to click here and here, and see we have, it curves the corners. So I'm going to go back to fillet, click here, here, enter, click here, here, enter, click here and here, and now I have, let's say, a occasional table or something like that, or a table with rounded corners. Now, one thing we need to remember is we're going to go back to fillet and put R, enter, and 0 so that we can trim again. Okay, chamfer makes straight angled corners on a table. So if we go click the little tick mark beside fillet, gives me chamfer. It asks for distance. Right now it says 0. So D for distance. Let's say we want 6, enter, and 6, enter. We could have a chamfer that has one on the first number and 6 on the second number. So we don't want an odd angle. So now we just click here and here, and see it makes sharp angled corners. And that is chamfer. All right. So what you want to do now is to File, Save As, Week 5 folder, and last name dash conference, and save it. See you for week 6.